Welcome to EnglishPass Podcast, brought to you from our local studio in Calgary. I'm your host, Samantha, and today we're diving into an exciting topic: asking for a raise. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate learner, in this podcast, we're helping you level up your English listening and reading skills. And before we get started, let me tell you that the sponsor of this episode is TypeFit, keyboard typing practice and learning service. Today, we're exploring something really interesting: asking for a raise. This is a fantastic subject for English learners because it covers a lot of practical vocabulary and real-world situations. So, let's dive right in. Asking for a raise is the formal process of requesting an increase in your current salary from your employer. This is a common and important part of a professional career, but it often makes employees feel nervous or uncomfortable. Why do we feel this way? Usually, it is because money is a sensitive subject in many cultures, and the fear of being told no can be quite strong. However, understanding how to navigate this conversation is essential for your long-term financial health and professional growth. It is not just about wanting more money for personal expenses. It is about ensuring that your remuneration reflects the value you bring to the company. The word remuneration is a professional term that refers to the total compensation, including salary and bonuses, that an employee receives for their work. Historically, the way people asked for more money has changed significantly. In the early 20th century, during the Industrial Revolution, wages were often set by strict union contracts or rigid company policies, leaving little room for individual negotiation. However, in the modern workforce, especially in professional and office environments, the power has shifted slightly toward the individual. Today, your salary is often seen as a reflection of your unique skills and the specific results you achieve. In many Western cultures, such as in the United States or the United Kingdom, being direct and providing evidence of your worth is expected and even respected. In contrast, some East Asian cultures might approach the topic more indirectly, perhaps waiting for a formal performance review to discuss the matter. A performance review is a scheduled meeting where a manager evaluates an employee's work quality and contributions over a set period of time. Let us look at our first real-world example to see how preparation makes a difference. Imagine a graphic designer named Sarah who has worked at a marketing agency for 3 years. She realized she was still earning the same salary she started with, despite taking on more complex projects. Sarah did not simply walk into her boss's office and ask for more money because she wanted a new car. Instead, she spent weeks researching the market value for graphic designers with her level of experience in her specific city. Market value is the typical salary range that other companies are paying for the same type of work. She used websites like Glassdoor and spoke with recruiters to find this data. When she finally met with her manager, she presented a list of the successful campaigns she had led and showed that her current pay was 10% below the industry average. Because she had data and evidence, her manager agreed to the raise. One of the most important things to understand is timing. You should not ask for a raise when your company is going through a difficult financial period. Instead, you should look for moments when you have just achieved something significant. Have you recently finished a major project ahead of schedule? Did you just bring in a new, high-paying client? These are the moments when you have the most leverage. Leverage is the power to influence a situation or a person to get what you want. If you ask for a raise right after a big win, your value is fresh in your manager's mind. Consider our second example, David, who works as a customer service lead. David noticed that his team's satisfaction ratings had increased by 20% since he took over. He also realized that the company's fiscal year was ending in 2 months. A fiscal year is the 12-month period that a company uses for its accounting and financial reporting. Many companies set their budgets for the next year during this time. David scheduled a meeting with his director 6 weeks before the budget was finalized. By doing this, he ensured that there was actually money available in the budget to give him a raise. If he had waited until the new fiscal year started, his director might have said that the budget was already locked, making it impossible to increase his pay regardless of his performance. A common misconception is that you deserve a raise simply because you have been at a company for a long time. While loyalty is appreciated, many companies view salary increases as a reward for increased responsibility or better results, not just for tenure. Tenure refers to the length of time a person has held a specific job or position. If you have been doing the exact same tasks for 5 years without any improvement or extra effort, it is harder to justify a significant raise. You must show how you have grown. Let's look at a third example with Maria, a logistics manager. Maria had been with her firm for 4 years. Instead of focusing on her tenure, she focused on how she had automated the shipping tracking system, which saved the company 50 hours of manual labor every month. She calculated exactly how much money that saved the company in wages. When she sat down with her boss, she said, "I have been looking at our productivity, and the systems I implemented are saving us $30,000 a year." This made it very easy for her boss to say yes, because Maria proved that she was an investment that was paying off, not just an expense. Sometimes, a company might want to give you more money, but simply cannot because of a temporary financial crisis. In these cases, it is helpful to know about a cost of living adjustment, often called a COLA. This is a small increase in pay meant to help an employee keep up with inflation and the rising prices of goods and services. Even if a company cannot give you a performance-based raise, they might be able to offer a COLA to ensure you aren't actually losing money as prices go up in the world. What happens if the answer is no? This is a reality many people face. However, a no today does not mean a no forever. In our fourth example, we have James, a software engineer. When James asked for a raise, his manager told him that the department had no extra funds for the rest of the year. Instead of getting angry or discouraged, James asked, "What specific goals do I need to reach to be eligible for a raise in 6 months?" He and his manager created a written plan with clear milestones. This made James proactive. Being proactive means taking control and making things happen rather than just waiting for them to happen to you. 6 months later, James had hit every goal, and the manager was happy to provide the raise as promised. In some situations, you can negotiate for things other than direct cash. These are often called fringe benefits. Fringe benefits are extra advantages given to employees in addition to their salary, such as more vacation days, the ability to work from home, or a budget for professional training. Let's look at Aisha, our fifth example. Aisha worked in human resources for a nonprofit organization. She knew they didn't have much money for raises, so she negotiated for a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week for the same salary. This effectively increased her hourly pay and gave her more free time, which was very valuable to her. When you are in the room, your language matters. Avoid using weak words like, I feel, or I think. Instead, use confident and professional language. Instead of saying, I feel like I work hard, try saying, my contributions this year have led to a 15% increase in team efficiency. Do you see the difference? The second sentence is a fact that can be proven. It takes the emotion out of the conversation and makes it a business discussion. Consider our sixth example, Carlos. Carlos was a junior accountant who had recently passed his professional exams. He knew that his new certification made him more valuable to other companies. During his meeting, he didn't threaten to quit, but he did mention that he was excited to apply his new qualifications to more senior tasks within the company. By highlighting his new skills, he was subtly showing that his market value had increased. His manager recognized that replacing Carlos would cost the company more than simply giving him the raise he deserved. In conclusion, asking for a raise is a skill that you can practice and improve. It requires a combination of deep research, perfect timing, and a clear understanding of your own value. Remember to look at the situation from your employer's perspective. What are they getting in return for paying you more? By focusing on your achievements, staying professional during the meeting, and being prepared for any answer, you put yourself in the best position to succeed. Whether you receive a salary bump, better fringe benefits, or a clear roadmap for the future, the act of asking shows that you are serious about your career and that you understand the business side of your work life. Always keep track of your accomplishments throughout the year so that when the time comes, you are ready to speak for yourself confidently and professionally. And that's all for today's episode of EnglishPass Podcast. I hope you found this helpful. Remember to practice what you've learned and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we improve. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and join us next time. Let me remind you that the sponsor of the episode is TypeFit, and I suggest to check the link at the description. I'm Samantha, and I'm excited to be your host for many more fascinating episodes to come. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Goodbye.